and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday the 4th of September 2025. We are in an international break and the Millwall news is starting to run a little bit dry, I'm going to be honest with you, but we still do have enough for a video, so let's crack on with it. And here we go. We're starting off with this. This is from southernnews.co.uk. They published today. Did you pick up a copy when you were at the shop? And why not? Oh, you live in New Zealand and they don't sell it there? Fair enough, but you can get it online. If you go to issue.com, issuu.com, you can get it on there. Councillors set to approve funds for a new overground station by Millwall Football Club. Surrey Canal station has been dubbed critical to unlocking the full housing potential in the area. Which means, blocks and blocks and blocks of flats. Lewisham Council will discuss using funding from developments built within the borough to help plug a funding gap for a new London Overground station by Millwall Football Ground. At a meeting next week on September the 10th, Lewisham Council's cabinet members are set to approve the use of strategic community infrastructure levy funds to help support the delivery of the Surrey Canal station. The station, which would be located between Queen's Road, Peckham and Surrey Quays on the East London line by Millwall Football Stadium, was first proposed when the overground line was extended to Clapham Junction in the early 2010s. Last year, we reported on how Millwall FC has held exciting plans to build a new London overground station at 3,500 homes near the Den. Club executives see the new Bermondsey plan led by developer Renewal as central to the club's future success. The £1.9 billion pound scheme has been in place since January 2022, but Lewisham Council approved a revised version on July the 31st, 2024. Have they broken ground yet? Have they started to even do anything yet? Surrey Canal Station has been dubbed critical to unlocking the full housing potential in the area, as well as improving connectivity for future residents and existing residents. SCIL allows local authorities to raise funds from developers who are undertaking projects in the area and help deliver infrastructure needed within the borough, such as new hospitals, schools, social care facilities and transport. So what, is that Section 106 money then? I don't know. The SIL money would go towards supporting TfL with the detailed design works of the station, and if it receives the required funding, design work would begin in early 2026 and complete in early 2028. After this, and subject to meeting the current funding gap, constructing the station would begin and is expected to take around 2 years. So then designing it takes 2 years, building it takes 2 years, so it'll be ready to open in 2031. Good Lord. In 2018, Transport for London secured a grant from the government's Housing Infrastructure Fund for 6 projects along the East London line, which included a new station at Surrey Canal Road. However, due to significant budget pressures, other projects were prioritised and plans for Surrey Canal Station were paused. In 2021, the programme had to be split into 2 phases, with Surrey Canal Station forming part of the second phase. Projects which have been funded through Phase 1 include new step-free station access at Surrey Quays Station and traction, power and signalling upgrades which have supported the increase in trains from 16 to 20 per hour. So there you go. What was the main thing of the story again? After all that, basically give us a revised history of what the hell was going on. They're going to approve the money for the new station, which if it goes through, then now we'll start designing the station, which for some reason takes 2 years. And then after that, they're going to start, I guess, do they need more money? Or is the money ready to go as soon as they get the designs after 2 years? I don't know. But, it's just dragging on and 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 on. While we're here talking about, the area changing and building and shit like that, I wanted to show you this because, this is hilarious. It's absolutely freaking hilarious. Right, you've seen this building, right? That you can now see over the skyline when you're at Millwall and you look south. This big grey, penis thing that's sticking up. It's on llderton Road, right? This is what they're doing. This is from rightmove.co.uk. Yes. Can you see that on the screen? But here you go. Does it say no? It says, so this, they are selling a floor. They are selling an entire floor, the 22nd floor no less. So I don't know if that's top floor or what. For £4,872,000. Nearly £5 million for an entire floor in a tower block on llderton Road. Have they lost their goddamn minds? Goddamn. So what? It's 8 apartments on the 22nd floor. It says entire floor in zone 2. Oh, wow. It's in zone 2. Barrett Homes. So, includes 8 high-spec apartments comprising 4 one-bedroom and 4 two-bedroom units. Wow! So they're 4 studio flats and 4 slightly bigger than studio flats. 5 million, which works out as 625 roughly K each. And this is the photos they put up. 600k for that. You got a balcony there. You can see, look, Millwall over there, look. So, you can't see the pitch. You can't even see the pitch. You can't see the pitch. So not only that, so if you're not a Millwall fan, or like if that bothers you, you're paying 600k, and for 10 months of the year, every other weekend, and some midweeks as well, you're going to have a bunch of Millwall fans and opposition fans. You can have noise, you can have lights. You're not going to be traffic, insane traffic. You're going to pay 600k for that? Like, are you nuts? Are you nuts? And look at this photo coming up now. Where is it? Look at this. What the fuck is this? This looks like a fucking... Look, this looks like a restaurant. It looks like a Turkish restaurant. Whose house is set up like that? Whose house is set up like that? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? What area... What is this? Maybe that's the concierge bit at the bottom. I don't know. Maybe that is the bottom. So maybe that's not what you're buying, but they're sharing that as a photo. So maybe, you know what this might be? If that is at the bottom, that's probably where you order your fucking takeaway food. Deliveroo brings it in and you sit downstairs and eat it. With all the other weirdos who have bought an overpriced house and are wasting their money on takeaway food. Yeah, that must be the concierge, the downstairs bit, because man, whose flat is like that? Man, £5 million for that. What a joke. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that because I found out about that a couple of weeks ago and didn't really have any other way to mention it to you other than with the old Surrey Canal thing being mentioned today. Now, moving on to this. Mentioned this over the past couple of days, past week. Elias Mansor. He got called up for the Afghanistan national team. Played in the first 2 games, 90 minutes. He played in the 4 games. We don't have a rating. NA, but he did play. That means he did play, but there's no rating. First game against Iran. They lost 3-1. And they're a very lowly ranked team. They're like ranked 161st in the world or something like that. So lost 3-1, first cap. That was his first ever cap, first call up. He's the under 21 right back. He's just moved up from the under 18s. And he's now been called up for Afghanistan. Played in the second game, they lost 2-0 to the host Tajikistan, co-host Tajikistan. Now today was on the bench because they They were basically knocked out, but they still had a slight mathematical chance, but they were knocked out. So they just rotated the squad, and he's on the bench now. And they let other players play, and they got a decent result against India, 0-0. So there you go. And if we can just show you while we're here, there they are. They did finish bottom. They got 1 point. But they I think it's on here. No, it's not on here. Okay. If I click on that, it should come up. No. Okay. Well, it come up before, and it said that they were ranked 161st in the world. So they're the lowest ranked team in this competition, but, to get a draw against India is pretty good, You can see here, so this is their form, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row defeat. Draw against India. Not a bad result. 0-0 draw. They drew against Qatar 0-0 as well, so that seems to be, if they're not losing, they're drawing 0-0. And, losing to Kuwait, losing to Nepal. Fucking hell, to Nepal. Tajikistan, they lost. They did score in that game. So that's the only goal so far we've seen here. They lost to Thailand. They lost to Myanmar. They scored in that one. They lost to Syria. Only 1-0. They lost to Afghanistan. They scored in that. So, over these last 10 games, they've only scored, 3 goals? So, there you go. Elias Mansor, 2 caps, and was on the bench for the 3rd game. So, there you go. So, other international games coming up. We're getting into it now. The first round of games are going to set to take place, and one of them is tomorrow morning. So this is UTC, whatever the fuck that means. In my mind, that's British summertime. So UTC must be Greenwich Mean Time, and then +1 is British summertime. As you can see outside, rain. It is British summertime. Still, it doesn't change until October, is it? So here we go. Max Crocombes, New Zealand versus Australia, taking place tomorrow morning, 10:45 a.m. Tomorrow. This is the first leg in Canberra. I keep wanting to say Canberra, but it's Canberra. The second leg, September the 9th, 8 a.m. in Penrose in Auckland. Now, we do hope that Max Crocombes will play in those games and will come through those games injury free and probably win it for New Zealand. Why not? Why not indeed? It's kind of like I imagine. I don't know, but I imagine, just projecting onto it. I would imagine it's kind of like the same way that Ireland is to the UK is how New Zealand is to Australia. But maybe I'm just projecting there. The little neighbour, the smaller neighbour, that's kind of over. They're kind of ignored. But I am here to tell you, I've been out, I've been searching, I've been trying to find it, and I've found some stuff. So here we go. If you're bored out in your mind, you want to watch some football, but you want to have a reason to watch it. Why am I watching this? There's 100 games on TV. Sky Sports Plus. They had, what is it? EFL Trophy games on the other day. But why are you watching it? What's the reason for you to watch it? Well, if there's a Millwall player playing in this game, maybe, in goal. FIFA Plus. This is an advert. FIFA Plus. It's a website. It's also an app. You need to sign in. Well, I think if you've got the app, I think you just need to download that. That second leg is going to be shown live on FIFA Plus at 8 a.m. British time. So there you go. So hopefully the first leg, they're not blown out. It's still competitive because you can get to watch the second leg, and why not? Moving on to this, which is not next week, but tomorrow. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. So Friday, 5 p.m. And if you go to the YouTube, you go to youtube.com and you go to the channel that's called Scotland National Team, and they only have 175k subscribers, even though, isn't there something like 3 million people in Scotland? why aren't you subscribed to it? So they are showing the Denmark versus Scotland under 21s game live, by the way, live. And obviously we do hope that Danny Kelly is playing in this and plays a blinder. It's not Denmark. They've used the wrong. Why? It's Czechia, but they've been lazy and they've just. It's not Denmark. It's Czechia. But the picture says Denmark. Please forgive me. They just reused the graphic because they're too fucking lazy. God damn. But yeah, that's coming. That's coming tomorrow, 5 p.m. It's free. It's free. You don't need a Sky subscription. You don't need anything. You just need to go onto the internet and go to YouTube, go to Scotland national team, and you can watch it. And you can watch Danny Kelly. You've got a reason to watch. He's a Millwall player. How's he going to do? How's he going to do against Czechia? Right, now we got this. This is from FSS.rs, which is the Federation of Soccer Serbia. Right. And the RS means Republic of Serbia, right? So they got pictures from the training of their under-21 team. And I'm looking through. And I'm looking through. And I'm looking through. I can't see Ivanovic. Where's Ivanovic? Can't see him at all. Nowhere to be seen. There's the new manager. Serious man. Very serious man. They're taking it seriously. They want to win. I'm not going to read the story, but I just want to look at the pictures. This is translated into English automatically by the browser. But there's no Ivanovic. Is he injured or what's going on? He's a happy guy. Get your hands out of your pockets when you're talking to me. And then this evening, Mill posted this on their X account today, presumably from training this morning with the rain. Ivanovic. So he got called up, but he didn't go. But he's fit because he's training. So what's happening there? Now that training was taking place in Novi Sad, which is in Serbia, but the game that they're playing is taking place in northern France. I think it's northern France. So I don't know what's going on there. Is he not going to international competition? Or have they allowed him to come along later? Is he just going to join up with the team in France? Rather than travelling all the way to Serbia and then travelling with them to France? He's just going to meet them in France, maybe on Saturday. I don't know. The game's on Monday. It's a friendly. It's not. They don't have any competitive games because they are training, because they're the co-hosts of the tournament, and the tournament isn't for 2 years. It's not next summer. It's the summer after. It is a long old. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's. I think COVID messed it up in terms of the timing, but yeah. So there you go. He's training with the first team. At Millwall, at Calmont Road. So, there you go. Now, we have forward momentum again in the West Kingsdown project. So, if you didn't know, Sevenoaks District Council, they've approved Millwall's training ground subject to certain conditions being met. And each condition that needs to be met, you need to apply to meet the condition and have it signed off. There are so far, I think we're up to 13. And at the moment, there were 5 currently going through the process of needing approval. There is now 4 because this one has been approved. This is details pursuant to condition 5, which is the Construction Environmental Management Plan. This is the one where Millwall save the animals. You save the animals. So it has been granted today, Thursday the 4th of September, in the year of our Lord 2025. It was granted. So, let's have a little look at what they say. So, the condition was the construction of... Oh, no, this was the thing. the condition was, underneath that, prior to commencement of works, including site clearance, by the way, a construction environmental management plan will be submitted to and improved in writing by the local planning authority, which is Sevenoaks District Council. The SEMP will be based on the recommendations in section 6.1 in the Ecological Appraisal Report and include the following, which we've already covered, so I'm not really going to go about that, but if you want to pause it and read it, you can read it. Okay. The approved SEMP will be adhered to and implemented throughout the construction period in accordance with the approved details, landscape and ecological management plan, including a proposed buffer planting. The development shall be carried out in accordance with the approved details. Bosh. To ensure adequate protection and mitigation of biodiversity during the construction process to comply with policy SP11 of the core strategy and the NPPF. And there was a bit of pushback from KCC, Kent County Council Ecological Department. We advise that separate comments on dormouse will be provided as part of our discharge of Condition 6. The submitted SEMP is based on the ecological survey information was submitted in the original application, which was many years ago. We note that the report SEMP has detailed that an updated site visit by an ecologist will be carried out prior to the works commencing on the site. We would expect this site visit to be carried out prior to the submission of the SEMP. So there you go. So the principal issues: to ensure the proposed construction works for the approved development are carried out in such a way to ensure no harm to protected species. Kent County Council Ecology requested the condition in their consultation response to the planning application. And this is it here. They've said they've agreed with the plan. Updated response following initial concerns that it has been some time since the initial report supporting the planning application that the information about the badgers could be outdated. New sets could have formed. Now the reason that we're seeing this and it isn't redacted because they haven't, because it's against the law to publicise where certain species are. I looked into it. There's hundreds of species that are protected. You're not allowed to disclose their habitats, and badgers are one of them. So if they're talking about badgers, that means there aren't any there. However, through email correspondence, it has been confirmed that a recent site survey has been carried out to support the dormice mitigation, and with no notable changes were observed on site in terms of badgers. So they have to work out how they're going to move the dormice, and when they were doing that, they said, "Oh, there's no badgers here." So there's no badgers. The mitigation outlined in this report is therefore suitable. KCC Ecology do advise that the dormouse mitigation strategy needs to be discharged before works can commence on site, although receiving the EPAS license. However, this application to discharge Condition 5 is suitable. Based on the above, it is therefore considered that sufficient information has been provided to discharge Condition 5 of the planning application. And it's been granted, so there you go. And then we go to, this is it here. It's been granted unconditionally, but it's just, this is the site, and this is the development Condition 5. So that's been granted, and then it's just copy and paste, going all the way down about various other stuff that's just standard stuff that they post. So there you go. There you go. Another step forward for West Kingsdown. And there you go. On that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.